The year was 1908, and it started with one small request. Not from a scientist, not from an athlete, and not from anyone trying to redesign the marathon. Just one request, made at the wrong moment, on the wrong route. That request added 385 yards to one Olympic race. And what happened next, nobody planned. A small route change became a global rule, and the world kept running it. But before that strange request changed the sport, the marathon already carried a story far older than the Olympics. To understand why this distance matters, we need to go back further, to ancient Greece. In 490 BC, Athens was threatened by a Persian army that landed near a place called Marathon. The Athenians fought back. Against the odds, they won. According to legend, a messenger ran from Marathon to Athens to deliver the news. He delivered the message. For a moment, the road went silent. That was the end of his run. That legend gave the marathon its name. But this is the important part. It did not give the marathon its exact distance. The ancient story was powerful, but it was not a measuring rule. When the modern Olympic Games began in Athens in 1896, organizers created a long road race inspired by the legend. It was dramatic, it was symbolic, and it quickly became one of the most memorable events of the Games. But the distance kept changing. Each Olympic-era marathon ran a different course. There was no single global standard. A marathon was a long race, but nobody had fully agreed how long it had to be. Then came London, 1908. The games that were never supposed to happen there. The games were meant for Rome. But in 1906, Mount Vesuvius erupted. Italy redirected its resources, and London took over. For the marathon, organizers planned a route from Windsor Castle to the Olympic Stadium at White City. The planned route was already close to 26 miles, long enough to feel historic, long enough to test even the best runners in the world. Then, the royal family made their request. The start line was moved so the royal children could watch from a window at Windsor Castle. And the finish line was positioned directly in front of Queen Alexandra at the royal box. It was not a scientific decision. It was not a performance decision. It was a viewing decision. When the new route was measured, it came out to 26 miles and 385 yards. Not because anyone designed the perfect race, simply because the start and finish were arranged around royal viewing points. But even then, that distance did not become permanent immediately. The race itself had to become unforgettable. And London 1908 gave the world a finish nobody could ignore. Italian runner Dorando Pietri entered the stadium first, completely exhausted. He struggled around the track. Officials helped him across the line, and that help cost him the race. The victory was taken away, but the story stayed. The controversy made London 1908 one of the most talked about marathon finishes in Olympic history. People remembered the runner, they remembered the stadium, and they remembered the strange distance attached to that race. Years later, in 1921, athletics authorities standardized the marathon distance globally. They chose the London distance, 26 miles and 385 yards. Not because it matched the ancient legend exactly, not because it was the perfect scientific distance, but because history had already made it powerful. One royal request, one adjusted route, one dramatic race, and a distance the world never changed. And that is how one strange route became the distance millions of runners still chase today. Some rules are not born from logic. They survive because nobody stops to ask why. So which other rules do we still follow for the same reason? Comment below and subscribe for more little-known stories.